Rescue personnel have returned to the scene of a disused power station in Soweto after it collapsed yesterday. They'll try to recover the body of a man trapped on site. Now, one person died yesterday and 5 were hospitalized. Our reporter Bongiwe Khumalo has been following the story closely for us. Good morning to you, Bongiwe. I do hope you can hear me right now. Now, I understand the rescue operations have resumed in the last few minutes.
Good morning, Joanne. Yes, the rescue operations did resume. We saw sniffer dogs going into the rubble just to see if they could, sniff out if there could be, a few more bodies or a few more people that could still be trapped, because we know that there were varying numbers, yesterday evening, some saying there could be as many as 15 people that could still, be trapped inside this rubble, in this particular building here. And, we then saw a short while ago the dogs making their way back into the vans, and some of the police officers saying that they're now waiting for their commanders because their dogs cannot sniff out anything at this moment, so they're just waiting for a bit of directive.
Now, we're looking at some visuals that you sent us just a moment ago. Tell us about the drama that occurred this morning when another group arrived to collect scrap metal.
Well, Joanne, when we decided to take a walk around just to see how much of this building has actually collapsed, we came across a group of, men, and they were just trying to see what they can collect from the rubble and to see if it's possible to collect some scrap metals. And security guards saying, but you cannot do this because you saw that yesterday one person even died as a result of doing this, and one's hand had to be amputated, and you saw a number of some of the guys that you work with here actually being taken to hospital, and they're now in a stable but critical condition. Why are you back here? You shouldn't be here, and you know that what you're doing here is illegal, and we are being accused of not doing our work properly. If you guys are here, so can you just leave the vicinity? And there was a bit of a squabble, because some of the men here were trying to ask, but what are we supposed to do if we are not going to come here, because we've got families to feed? One guy even saying that his girlfriend is currently pregnant, and he's trying to ensure that he puts food on the table or even prepares for that girlfriend to try and go to hospital. And we managed to pull that guy aside and try to speak to him and get a sense of why he's doing this, despite one of their colleagues having died.
We don't work. We don't have money. We waited for the building to collapse. We let the police do their job. We didn't think there'd be anybody here today. That's why we came.
Now, we're hearing right now, Bongi, that it's not only human beings who are buried under that rubble, but vehicles too, rather strangely.
Yes, while we were taking a walk and talking to the security guards, they told us that there's a truck, and there's also one of our colleagues actually even spotted a double cab bakkie actually also flattened just inside there. And security guards say that this is an all too common sight when it comes to trucks as big as this one that is caught in that rubble, actually coming through and taking some scrap metal and actually then making their way out. And they say that they've been seeing this unfold for a number of years, and they're not even surprised that there's actually, a truck and a bakkie that got caught up in all this mayhem.
Do we know about the condition of the 5 people who've been hospitalized, Bongi?
Well, Joanne, what we've heard is that their condition is critical, but it remains stable. And as I talk to you right now, there's a group of women that have just arrived, and they're just a few meters away from where we are, and they are just coming to inquire about what is happening. And we heard that one of them was actually saying that the husband has been rescued, but she doesn't know where the son is. So those are some of the concerns that are being raised by some family members here who are trying to inquire about their loved ones' whereabouts, because the EMS actually even yesterday saying that because the numbers are actually changing at all times, they're pleading with people who think that their family members may have been involved here to come forward and actually just give some indication so that they can also know that they should start searching for more people or just focus on removing the body that is currently under the rubble.
Isn't there likely to be some sort of backlash here, Bongi, where members of the public rage against officials who simply are not taking care of those dilapidated buildings of theirs and allowing free access to them by members of the public?
Yes, Joanne, because one guy actually this morning saying that this actually puts the spotlight into the city's development plan, because he's worried that as a resident, how does it happen then that, you know, the city will allow a building to dilapidate like this, and actually even metal be removed from it for so long, and even to the point that it actually then collapses as a result. And they say that for them as community members, this is really not good. It's not a good sight, and they're not happy that, you know, people are getting caught up in you know, in such situations. And for them, they say that especially because this is such a memorable building for the people of Soweto, because they refer to this building as the Orlando Power Station. You know, it's filled with history, and they say that for them to watch such buildings actually dilapidate, and to the point that we see behind us now, then they say that this really now puts the spotlight back into the development plan of what is to be done when it comes to buildings that are left abandoned and buildings that seem not to be taken care of and their owners are not being tracked down.
Know more. eNCA.com